So you have a unique gift. You're known as the singing guitarist. Where did that come from?
My great uncle, he was known as Willie Eason and his talking guitar. My grandfather became the Jimi Hendrix of the church, if you will. Nobody actually called it the singing guitar. Instead of a lap steel guitar, which is what this is, I just started calling it the singing guitar.
I always look at music as being the theme song to our love journey. Since your wife can't defend herself, how did y'all meet each other?
Literally, when I saw her, the first thing that came to my head was...
Before you say those words,
okay,
make the guitar say it.
Okay. It was love, literally. Because I was like, she can be my wife.
Really? When you first saw her?
Literally, and I do not do that. She was in a place called Willacoochee, Georgia.
Willacoochee, Georgia.
Willacoochee, Georgia. It's I don't believe Willacoochee.
Singing guitar vibes.
Yeah.
What was going on for you to create that?
4 or 5 years ago.
During COVID?
Yeah, we lost almost everything. I recorded a video of my wife's grandmother's homegoing service. In the video, it went viral, it did well.
Messed everybody up, huh?
It did something for me too. I didn't even know it was recorded actually until it was put up on Instagram later on. I just saw the comments from it. And at that moment, I said, you know what? I'm gonna dedicate my music towards that feeling because it brought so much healing.
So what was you doing at first?
I was making it sing, but not like when you're going through, you know?
We co-wrote Dear Future Wifey, a song for my podcast. I was on the phone talking to a friend. She said, why don't you have him play to you? And I was like, I don't know if he can just start playing or something like that, but we're gonna see what you can do. Dear Future Wifey.
Okay, scripturally, the Bible says your Father has already designed and purposed you.
I experienced an invitation of God this morning.
So you gotta become an elite decision maker.
Elite decision maker.
He said, because you are one fleshly decision away from losing it all.
Etched in my mind is what true submission to Christ looks like.
I gotta maintain that secret connection I have with God.
I'm so full and don't want to belabor this letter.
And I understand how important it is for men to disciple men, because if I didn't have that, I wouldn't be where I am today.
I've traded worldly pleasures to live a God-centered life.
The encounter I just had, I just need to rest in it.
Help us to be considerate, creative, and courageous lovers.
I love you. Your future hubby. Welcome to Dear Future Wifey podcast. I'm your host, Laterras R. Whitfield. Listen, are you still shacking up with us? If you're still shacking up with us, can we get a commitment? Hit that subscription button and subscribe. Make sure you turn on your notification bell so you'll be notified about upcoming episodes. And if you're listening to us on Patreon, if you join our membership program, we're going to be doing some exciting behind the scenes footage that's going to be released. And so make sure you tune in. And if you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, do us a favor, leave a review. And let me go ahead and say this in advance. Happy Valentine to you. I know some of y'all are single. Well, many of y'all, because I see the comments all the time. And y'all are single, and sometimes Valentine's Day is a day of sadness. But I want to encourage you, if you don't have anybody to love you, quote unquote, because we all have somebody to love us. But if you don't have that romantic love in your life, love yourself. Make this a day about self-love. And I wanted this episode to be extremely special. I had a couple of friends send me this gentleman's videos, and as it came across my timeline, the music that he played arrests my spirit. And I said, there's something about him. It's not just some musician that's playing music. I felt like there's the presence of God when he begins to play. And so I said, for this episode, I want to talk about love and music and the power of music in our love journey. And we're going to touch on healing and the power of healing. So without further ado, welcome to Dear Future Wifey podcast, my homie, AJ Ghent. What's going on, King?
Hey, how you doing? I'm doing good.
We here now. So tell the people, where are you from?
I'm originally from Fort Pierce, Florida.
Fort Pierce, Florida.
Yeah.
And where do you reside now?
Atlanta, Georgia.
In the ATL.
Yeah.
ATL. Have you done many podcasts?
This is my first.
Good. I was hoping that. So, because it's a little unconventional what you do, and I wanted your wife to be here because, you know, the Dear Future Wifey podcast about relationships and singles and all that. And but y'all got a youngin'.
She nursing.
She nursing right now, and she was like, and you have. So, how old is your youngest?
He is a year. Now.
A year.
Yep, he's a year.
And connected to that mama breast, huh?
He ain't leaving. He said, forget about it. He said, this is my breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
I said, I want y'all to come. He said, man, listen, my baby, he gonna act up. It's not happening.
He gonna turn it out.
So, from a father standpoint, how rewarding is fatherhood to you?
Oh, you know, it's a beautiful journey because I'm learning so much. You know, I'm learning so much about myself. That's the key, and it makes me every single day I get up and I look at improvements. Okay, how can I do this better? How can I do that better? So it's a beautiful journey, though.
How does your kids reflect that to you?
Acting up.
So when they act up, it reminds you of when you used to act up when you was younger?
Oh my goodness. My oldest is 6, right? And he is everywhere. And so I understand certain situations I got myself in as a child. but definitely, you know, they're great children. So yeah, it's definitely a serious journey. And
how many kids you have?
2. You
have 2, a 6 and a 1-year-old.
Yep.
Boys, both boys?
Both boys.
Both boys. You want a girl? Have you stopped?
I think I might be done.
You think?
I think
But what your wife say?
She thought he might be done too. He might be done. What she say?
What she say? If you can have whatever plans you want, but if your wife say, I need a girl, I want to keep going till we get a girl.
She probably will, you know, but I'm like, woo, 2 boys.
You know what? I want you to set the tone for this episode. This is an episode about love and music. And I always look at music as being the bedrock, the underscore, the theme song to our love journey. Most of the times when people fall in love, they'll have that song and they say, this is our song. Yeah. This is the song. People are very instrumental in choosing what song they come out on when they're getting married. And, you know, this is our first dance song and all that. And so music has curated our love journeys for centuries. And so I want you to play whatever's on your heart. And I want you as the audience to even comment, what are you feeling? What type of emotions are welling up in you? Does it make you feel happy? Does it make you feel sad? Or when he played this song or played this music, is this going to be a melody? Is it making you think about love lost, hopeful love? Does it make you think about your lost grandma? What does this music do for you? Because music can bring about many emotions. Go ahead, do your thing, King. What was that? What were you channeling?
It was literally something that I had never played before. I will say that, and I felt it every step of the way. Well,
I'm gonna tell you what I felt, and then you tell me what the inspiration was as you were playing. How you go into this? When you first started playing, I felt like on a journey of freedom. It felt like something that was reminiscent of slaves fighting for freedom and whatnot, and so it felt very emancipated music to me, and then it started feeling like a glimmer of hope and love restored. And so my question to you is, as you were playing, when you start playing, do you start from a feeling, or do you just play and let the feeling come?
I play and let the feeling come. I try not to think about anything, and that's why I typically don't know what I play until I listen to it back, and I'm like, okay. But yeah, I try to step away from the moment and allow my hands and that energy to just come and and heal.
So what did that feel like to you?
Well, from a musical side of it, I'm gonna critique it, but
I know it.
But just everyday person, it was along the lines of what you just said, because that's exactly what I do when I am playing. I try to tell a story, but at the same time, I don't want to get in the midst of what it's doing to the listener and for the listener. So I step back literally and let my hands do what they do. And I don't know, man, it's like, it's one of those things where what comes out. And, and again, when I listen back, I'll be like, wow, okay.
So you said critiquing. So you were critiquing yourself after you played or while you were playing?
I tried to get out of the way, but after I play, I'm sure I'm going to listen back to this and be like, okay, what was that? But that's me. I hear myself all the time. So, and it's a lot of stuff, a lot of music out there that I've played that I might not be okay, that was awesome. But others will say, wow,
that touched their whole life.
Yeah. So that's what I gear all of it towards. How do you feel? Forget about what I might be critiquing at the moment. How do you feel? So
you have a unique gift. You're known as the singing guitarist, right?
Yeah.
Where did that come from? Because you have an interesting history. You come from a family, a lineage of this. So educate the people.
Well, my great uncle, he was known as Willie Eason and his talking guitar back in the 1930s, and so he would be on the street playing. And my grandfather took that. And he learned up under him, and he started literally. He became the Jimi Hendrix of the church, if you will. And so, plenty of stories on that. And so he took that sound, that singing sound, to another level. And then my father came behind him and started touring, different places, and he became known for that signature sound, the singing sound. And so, nobody, within the family actually called it the singing guitar until I came along. I said, well, you know what? I need to make it relatable so that people will understand. And so instead of a lap steel guitar, which is what this is, I just started calling it a singing guitar. And so, and then, all the testimonies of everyone saying, hey, you making that thing sing, and, this doing this and that to me. I said, okay, well, that's what we're going to go with it, sing guitar vibes.
Earlier I said people have a song that becomes their song for their love journey. Did you and your wife have a song?
That's a great question, because we don't.
And y'all are musicians.
Yeah. And I think that's what it is. We don't, we typically, lately I will say, the latest music that I've released from Singing Guitar Vibes, the Healing Sound Waves album, I've found us sitting and bonding,
Play something play the song that makes you feel closer to your wife. From your
guitar
song.
vibe. So I'm gonna just play like a melody, because the song was written in a way that it's here we go. So that's, you know,
What's that
a
called?
version of it. Singing Guitar Vibes. That's one.
So that's the name of the song?
Yeah, Singing
I thought you
Guitar
thought that was
Vibes,
the name of the album.
No, that's
So-
it's the song.
Singing Guitar Vibes.
Yeah.
And what was going on for you to create that?
Well, during about 4 or 5 years ago, you know, we all sitting home, and I'm wondering what I'm gonna do with my life.
During COVID?
Yep. And I literally, because we lost almost everything, you know, home, you know, because I was on the road working, being a touring musician, and so I recorded a video of my wife's grandmother's homegoing service, and in the video it went viral, it did well, and I sat back and just
No, tell
noticed-
people that video because the people going to be like, oh, that's who it was.
Yeah.
So break it down. What happened in that video?
I was making the guitar sing. So what happens is I was standing up, I was playing the guitar suspenders, and you know, none of that was really planned because it's a church service. That's
Yeah.
where I'm used to playing. And so, but at this particular funeral, I just decided that I wanted to do something unique. And typically, the way I play is different because this particular instrument you're supposed to sit in on your lap and play. So I'm standing up and playing, and I played What a Friend We Have
Go
in
ahead.
Jesus.
Take us back
So
there. Take us back there.
So that was a version of it, if you will. What you say?
You played that at a funeral?
Yeah.
Messed everybody up, huh?
Yeah, well, you know, it did something for me too, because I was like, whoa, you know, even during the moment, you know, and I literally, when the video was done, I didn't even know it was recorded actually, until it was put up on Instagram later on. And so I just saw the comments from it, and that just did something so much to me. And at that moment, I said, you know what? I'm going to dedicate my music towards that feeling, that moment, because it brought so much healing, and not from what I'm saying, but literally from what people are saying. I'm like,
Right.
my goodness, you know. And so,
When you think of some of the comments, what were some of the comments that stood out? What did you hear people saying?
one of the key, you know, things that I always instill to this day here was, you know, it puts me in a place where I'm happy. It I want to cry. You want to share the tear, or you know, it's healing. You know, that's one of the major words that I've always seen. And you know, of course, I was, you know, a little like, okay, now y'all
Don't gas me up too much.
don't put me out here like this, you know. And then, you know, and again, another moment, I went back and listened. I'm like, you know, wow, you know, it's doing something for me. And said that's how Singing Guitar Vibes came out of it, because I said, you know what, I got to figure out how to do this again. I got to figure out how to do this again. And so that's how that song came, because.
So what was you doing at first? I know you were a traveling musician, but you wasn't making the guitar sing like that?
I was making it sing, but not like when you're going through, you know. Stuff happened to you and you start, Lord, I need
Come
you.
out different.
I'm trying to tell you. And so, but you know, I found myself trying to force what was not me. You know, and a lot of times you just be yourself. Be who you are, and what needs to come will come with that, you know.
And what you're talking about is first, as an artist, you were singing and playing the guitar, right?
I was singing, playing the guitar. I was on the rock and roll journey, and and that has its place, but it wasn't meant for this time for me, and so that's what encouraged me to just go this route and say, you know what, it's going to be for healing, it's going to be for peace, and so on and so forth.
How did you grieve the loss of the career you originally wanted to be, this rock star singing and playing the guitar, and then saying, I'm just going to play this guitar?
I didn't think about it too much, because when you start doing that, that's when you find yourself going south.
Yep.
And I didn't, but there was a time where I had no idea what I was going to do. And it was a scary moment, because you're thinking, okay, this is all I know.
Yes.
And
that part.
And, getting on live. I got on Facebook, I got on Instagram, I was getting on TikTok, and I saw the need everybody was going through, especially during that time.
During COVID.
And I was like, you know what, AJ, this is where you need to be. This is what you need to do.
That's good.
And that gave me peace.
That's good.
It gave me peace.
And so let's talk. I normally like talking to the spouse when I'm talking about the relationship, because there's always two different stories. I'll be like, how did you meet? And you'll say one thing, and then the other person, no, he shot his shot at me first. So since your wife can't defend herself, how did y'all meet each other?
We met in church.
Okay,
we met in church, and I was invited to come play for her grandmother's their church diocese state assembly, and so we had never met. She saw some videos online and said, "Okay, you need to come." And my grandma, she gonna take care of you. She gonna pay you. Of course, that got me up. Okay.
Oh, so she invited you to the church?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I came, and literally when I saw her, for the first time, this is the first time we met. I saw her. The first thing that came to my head was,
hold on, before you say those words,
okay,
make the guitar say it.
Okay.
And then I want you to put words to it.
It was love, literally. So it was like, because I was like, she can be my wife. She can
really, when you first saw her?
Literally, and I do not do that, right? That wasn't even.
How old were you at the time?
Ooh, I might have been like 22, 23.
So you was young. You was a little young cat.
Yeah, at that time.
This could be my wife.
Oh my goodness! And so, from that point on, we never stopped talking. She was in a place called Willacoochee, Georgia.
Willacoochee, Georgia.
Willacoochee, Georgia. It's Woo! Yeah, when I heard it, I said, "Oh my God!
Oh my God!"
Yeah. And so
Willacoochee, Georgia.
Lord knows, I ain't never leave Willacoochee.
I ain't never leave Willacoochee.
Woo! And then they like to abbreviate it,
What they say?
They don't like the Willa. They just say Coochie. They like to abbreviate it. I say, whoa.
You come to Coochie, Georgia? You be like, I'm here.
Really saying that, right? And it's okay?
It's okay.
So, yeah, it's fine.
It's okay. My wife is from Willacoochee, Georgia.
Yes, she is. Listen, I ain't never leave.
You'll never leave?
I ain't never leave. I said, okay, it's safe with me. It's a good place to be, because, home.
It's a good place to be.
Some good old cooking and everything. So, yeah.
The land flowing with milk and honey.
I'm trying to tell you. I said, okay.
And so how long did it take you? How long did you date before you aligned your thought with your words and said, "Will you marry me?"
It had to be about a year.
That's all.
Yeah, a year.
Really?
Yeah, it was a year. And we moved up to Atlanta together, and really, her goal was to get married on Valentine's Day. I think it might have been like a couple days after. But we came up, got married, and that was that,
So you were about 22, 23. How old is it? What's the age difference?
We're about 4 or 5 years apart.
Well, I know you ain't got to guess how old your wife is. You've been married for 30-something years now.
I know. It ain't been 30 now.
I know it. I've been married to her for something about...
I think because she was 19 at the time.
Okay, so about 3 years.
So, yeah. So but definitely, but she was. One thing about her is she's so ahead of her time. She's so ahead of her time, and so you're around her, and you're asking how old you are. Because she's so far ahead of her time. When we actually met, I didn't have to, you got to eat after church.
Yeah.
And she say, listen, when you ain't got to go and spend no money, I can make some spaghetti at the house. And I said, what? I said, you definitely the one.
Spaghetti. You can cook too?
What?
They teaching you how to cook in Willacoochee, Georgia?
Wasn't no fancy meal. But it was good, Lord knows. It got me up my weight a little bit, But,
the spaghetti.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, so she's definitely ahead of her time, beautiful. She's just an amazing person.
Let me ask you this. Why did you marry her?
Purpose, right? She was in line. I mean, since we first met, everything a part of my journey and my purpose. She's just been right by my side with it. She's
good.
It's like, baby, if this is what you want to do, if you feel like this is where, the Lord is taking you, I support you. And that, even in a dating place, that's, you can't beat that. I can't go against that. And she's okay with playing that background. She's not always up in the front and this. Now, we were in the band together, but during that time,
tell how you done got her in the band. That girl wasn't playing no instrument. You done got her.
No. She wasn't playing. I said you need that because
had this girl playing.
I got to a point where it was just me and the drummer, and I said, you know what? I need a bass player. And then I had my sister on the other side of me. She was playing percussion. She was getting her Sheila E on, and I had my wife. She was doing the key bass, that left hand. She was making it work, and. It was sounding great, though.
But how did you get her to do that? She wasn't playing instruments at first.
Her mother plays the keys, right? And so she played a little bit with it. She knew a little bit of something, but it wasn't something that she was out literally just, okay, I'm a musician and I'm doing it like this. I'm playing in this church, that church. So she already had somewhat of a foundation. And so I just pulled it on that. I said, hey, I know it's in you. I need you to do this for me, And so she was singing and playing.
So she was already singing at the church and all that.
Yeah, she was. That's one of the biggest reasons why it was a no-brainer. Okay, bring him down and let him play because I sing too. I'm a musician, and so she's, that connected us. Just being musicians together. From that nature.
And then you just said, I need a key bass player.
I gotta have a bass player. Yeah, at the time.
And then he was like, you're gonna have to learn how to do this.
You're gonna have to come on up in here. And do this here,
And so how did that feel to have the love of your life do what you love doing and y'all doing it together?
It was amazing. Yeah. It was amazing. At first, I couldn't believe it. But then it was amazing because it's nothing like, having her by my side literally on the road. Yeah. And especially during that time. Now she almost retired from the key bass, and
almost
run around children. Almost retired. But it was amazing. When you're on the road, a lot of times you just need that assistance, and it's beautiful to have a wife there, because she gonna go over and beyond to take care of the things that's outside of the actual tour, So.
But hold on now, AJ. A lot of men don't like that. A lot of men wouldn't want their wife on the road because it gets in the way of some of their extracurricular activities they want to do on the road.
My focus my focus has been purpose, man. And I been there, done that, right?
Yeah.
And so I've been at a place for years now where, it's about purpose. I don't want to leave this earth not fulfilling that purpose. And the days where I'm at a point where I can't do it like I can now, I want to be able to say I gave it my all. And so I ain't got time for distraction.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so it could be, it's at first it was tough, you know, from a standpoint, but it's beautiful. It can appear as if, man, half us stay back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now the children not with me, so it's a whole nother level.
Yeah.
But now that part can. All right, now y'all about to go on stage, and Lord have mercy.
We gotta play daddy real quick and then run on stage.
But
and kids.
but it's a beautiful thing. I appreciate and love every moment of it.
Which I want to applaud you with is the fact that, like, the first person that we've ever seen on a major level do music with his wife, traveling with it, kids and everything, is Tobe Wigwe.
Wow,
so you see him and Fat, and they're just unapologetic with it. You see the kids that come out on stage, you just see it. Yeah. And I remember how much that blessed me to see that. And so it's good to know that you're the same way. You travel with your family. When I talked to you the other day, you're like, we gonna get in the car, we gonna go there, and our whole family travel together. And I said, man, I love that.
Yeah.
I love it because it's not, and this is the reason why I love it so much, is that you don't give the enemy space to come in and tear up something. You don't give him space to where you out living your life, and then your wife is sitting at home taking care of the kids, and then she begins to be resentful because she it looks like you just having fun, kicking it, and she at home dealing with the, I don't want to call kids burdens, but dealing with the burden of rearing your kids. You know what I'm saying? And so and you just having the fun and posting pictures on Instagram and everybody screaming your name and all that. And she just like, wow. And you'll find where most couples, they grow apart in those moments. Yeah. And you come off tour and your kids don't recognize you, your wife don't recognize you, and y'all have grown apart with something that you felt blessed and called to do, and now the very calling came as a hindrance for your marriage. Yeah. And so I'm glad that the word you led off with was purpose, that marrying her was a part of purpose, and that means that's what's going to keep y'all together, because your purpose ain't going nowhere. No. And if she's your purpose partner, then y'all going to keep fulfilling purpose until the day y'all take y'all last breath.
I'm trying to tell you.
What is when you've been booked? What do people normally book you for? Do people book you for corporate events, or have you been booked for, like, what is your dream and ambition? So we can say that here on the Dear Future Wifey podcast. So those people that are gatekeepers, they start booking you for whatever your heart's desire is. What do you want?
Well, this past year or so, I've been doing ticketed shows.
Yeah.
Right? And so, because this is new to me now, because I'm it's a whole nother thing than what I was used to doing years ago. But as I've been playing and booking these particular shows, I get requests for all kind of events, but my heart is in a place where I want to be able to utilize the instrument and the sound for a healing and therapeutic manner, and I think the dream booking, if you will, are the ones that help team builders and to any space that I can get in to just be able to set a presence of healing.
That's good.
Works, in moments like this, so.
Hold on, that's good. Because I remember when I was in my mid-20s, God gave me a word and showed me how powerful music is and how music can heal. And I said, God, I want to, now I don't play an instrument. I showed you my guitar. Don't play it. Want to learn how to play it. Yeah. And I have a baby grand piano at my house. Don't play it. Okay. But it's beautiful. And I just love instruments. And then my friends, a lot of them are musicians. So when they come around, they hop on it and play it or whatnot. But God showed me in my mid-20s the power of music. And I had a desire to create a healing album where people can listen to this album while they're in the hospital or whatever state they're at. If they're at home and going through an illness or whatnot, that they can play this music and it begins to heal. And what that's based on is, I remember reading in the Bible, let me pull up this. This was Samuel 16, verse 23. It said, "And it came to pass when the evil spirit from God was upon Saul, that God took an harp and played with his hand. So Saul was refreshed and was well, and the evil spirit departed from him." And so we read the scriptures about how David would use the gift of playing music to ward off spirits. When you just said what you just said, knowing that God has gifted your hands, gifted your mind, given you the spirit to be able to play, and your music translates into people's hearts and minds from different nationalities, different backgrounds, different religions, different geographical area, and it touches everybody in a unique way. How do you feel about that?
It's a huge responsibility. It's definitely a big one. And, again, I go back to purpose. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing to be fulfilling purpose and to be on that path that you're supposed to be on. And I'll be honest with you, it makes me dive deeper into how I can continue to do it in a bigger manner.
Yeah.
And so it involves a lot of fasting. I'll be honest with you.
Good.
To be as pure as possible. It involves even studying what I do, and with the slide, and the difference between that and then the difference between vibrato and just singing a note out.
What is that? Give me the terminology. Or you said the difference in it is what?
I believe the difference in it is this is a note. But to me, that's a story, that's an expression. That's something else. That's technically not a note. That's me. Sounds like it to the ear, but I believe to the spirit, you receive it in a different manner, And so, just little things like that. I'm more aware of what I'm doing these days, based upon, the different testimonies. Because at first I was like, I'm used to hearing myself all the time, so I don't always know how you feeling about it. The listener. So when I started, seeing just the different testimonies on, how somebody's husband is treating them better now, after the music and stuff.
So you shared that with me before. Explain what happened.
What? I don't know.
Well, not the whole story of it, but the fact that someone told you.
They reached out and said, I don't know how you're doing it, but my husband listens to your music, and she said, he just treats me better after hearing it. And that made me be like, what? Like, what are you? Wow, because originally, when a lot of the music was created, I'm not thinking about that
at all.
I'm thinking about, okay, I just want to make sure it sound good and that I ain't messing up and all of these details that really don't matter.
Yeah.
Right. And so somebody say your husband, treating you better. My goodness, and so it just make you dive deeper and say, okay, what is this? How is this? And that's one of those key principles, I think, that's sometimes overlooked, how David healed Saul in those moments, and I believe I've been going more deeper into just being able to deliver that, and that's my passion. That's my purpose, to step aside from the other stuff and say, okay, this is what I'm going to dedicate it toward.
What's another thing that you found from, like you just made an example of the slide? Anything else you do from a musical standpoint that you believe evokes something else?
The biggest thing is, like I was saying earlier, because I try not to get in the way. Yeah. Because if I get in the way, then just play for me, and I don't want to do that. So, typically I try my best to stay away from because that gives a certain feeling. So what I do is, by itself, what I do is I try to combine to give more of a soft, more relaxing energy there. So
do that one more time. Play it again.
Okay.
So the difference between this and that.
The difference between like and it might feel good and sound good at a time, but the reality is, to me, if I stay there all the time, that just sounds like, we marching, getting ready for battle.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Song, yeah.
And so I don't always want to bring that out. I like to tell the full story, how do we get to that place of battle? You know what I'm saying? And so so it's I try not to get too deep into it because then I once again get in my way of actually speaking to the listener. So,
but there is a technicality behind it. There's something technical because, like you said, and I'm glad you're taking time to break that down because people may say, "Well, what's the difference?" It's just playing a guitar, and it's like, no, and you can hear you can feel the difference, but people may not know why they're feeling it.
Yeah, well, exactly. So because you got, happy, sad, and so it's important for the creator of that to, and again, for me, I'm trying to heal.
Take us through something emotionally sad. If you want us to feel sadness right now,
that'll stay right. I have a habit now of putting certain things in there so it's not so sad. So I don't even know if that.
No, it started feeling. It was sad. It started off
and
sad.
So I don't know how to, but from a happy standpoint, that's. It's like it's combining major, minor to make tears of joy.
So why you say you got into the habit of not playing something sad?
I'm not in a sad place. I'm not in a sad place. I am in a very beautiful place. And so my hands won't allow me, my hands won't allow me to play the devil's music. They used to. No, and again, from a theoretical standpoint, musicians out there, there's, you listening and say, well, he's involved. You putting everything together. You can't. It's hard to get outside of the minor, because you're gonna need to put it there. But I try to mix it.
This is mine.
So you got.
Keep on. You gotta stay there. You gotta go there. Oh.
Oh yes. That's me adding in the minor right there. That's the story part.
Yes.
So it's a story, because the lyrics to that song, it's a story. My story, my song, phrasing myself. So that's,
Jesus. Oh, God. Yeah, I need a couple seconds.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
That's crazy to me.
Me too. Me too.
Because the situation is, if you would have kept playing that, I'd probably been on this floor crying.
Hey, well, hey.
That-
Yes. Oh my goodness. You know, that's
so even when you're playing it, you're feeling it. You're like, oh God, like when you're doing that,
Oh, yeah.
what is that doing to you? When you hit a certain note and you were playing something that made you say, oh yeah, you start like, what is that doing to your spirit?
it's doing the same. Listen, I'm feeling relief.
Yeah.
You know, so that's why I had to let it out. That, oh my goodness. Oh
Yeah.
yes. I'm feeling, you know, when I do it. You know, it's just, woo. You know, that's why I step back. You know, I don't get in the way of that moment, because if I do, I'm thinking about it way too much.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do that. A lot of notes, when I close my eyes and I play, I'm guessing.
Really?
And my pattern and just where I'm going, it is what it is. So I might hit notes that later on I might listen back and say, you know, but
it still works.
Yeah. When you're in that moment.
Yeah, because you'll be like, it's almost like a singer singing and they may hit a bad note, but in a live performance, you're just like, I don't care how she sounds. And I always liken it to the deacon at the church that be sitting in the front. Oh my, they be all in the wrong. Oh my God. You be like, and you be crying. You be like,
Exactly.
you know that don't sound good, you know, from the ear, but that emotion that will make you screaming. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I love about you singing with the guitar, because I'm literally like I'm like, it's just doing something to my mind. I'm like, what is going on here? You know what I'm saying? It's like, what is that? Because I haven't heard it before, you know, and I was like, what? Like, we was on the phone that day and we were talking and you was like, yeah, I hear you playing that in the background.
Yeah.
Because I was playing it and I was just like, this is, it can make you, here it is, it will take you into a different space. Like listening to your music takes you into a different space to where you just want to just sit in it and just sit in it and be like, because I even started saying, I said, as I continue to write my book, I'm going to play your music and just sit there and let the music play while I write and see what the Holy Spirit begins to write through me with this music, serving as a place of inspiration and motivation, and see what happens in that, because it's something that's happening that I can't call it. I don't know what it is. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's the same place I be a lot of times. And that's why I have to look at the testimonies, look at the comments and be like, okay. That's what it does, you know, even what you just said. It's like, okay, wow, okay, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
You know? And so
it's doing something. I'm going, what? Like even playing that song, we done heard that song 50 million times, but as soon as you started playing, I was like, oh, don't you, hold on. Hold on now. Don't you start nothing over here. Do not do that. Woo. I'm like, because people even know from a lyrical standpoint that just the lyrics, like you said, the lyrics of that song is powerful. And for you to be able to speak those lyrics, to sing those lyrics with the guitar, it's like.
Yeah. Exactly.
Give us another one, them old good old, them oldie but goodie gospel songs.
Ooh. So let's do this. Let me see. Let me think now, because you got me here. Let's do another hymn, just a closer walk with thee. Right.
Oh.
So you.
Gonna put me in a trance.
Yeah. Don't get in the trance.
I'm gone. Interview over. I'm just gone.
Okay.
Boy, Lord Jesus.
Listen. Hey.
You don't never get bored doing what you do you?
Never. No, because it's a song that never ends. It's a song that never ends. It's a story that ain't done until I'm done. And so
ain't done until you done.
Yeah. I don't never. I sit down and I don't write music. I don't sit down and write music.
Really?
I just express, I tell the story.
So when you're producing, because you'll produce the track for it, are you producing the tracks for it?
I am.
And then, so you'll produce that, but then when you make the guitar singing, you don't have anything repetitive?
No, and I've gotten to a point now, almost sometimes to a fault. I keep the tracks as simple as possible.
Yeah.
They're loops, and I keep them as simple as possible. There was a time where I would be I would critique and be so specific and say, it has to sound like this, it has to be like this, it's got to have this, that, and the third. And when I noticed myself sitting outside out of an amplifier and just playing, and I might post a video like that would do more
than all the production, the one you did with.
And I said, okay, that's when I'm gonna,
so I'm working too hard.
Focus way too hard. Half of the stuff you're not gonna understand. All the extra stuff. I mean, it has its time and purpose.
Musicians will be like, "Oh, I love how you went to this and you did this and you went to this sixth and then everybody else like,
yeah, and that's my point exactly. And so I started just I create something simple and then I just play. And then as I play, I might get melodies and I'll continue to repeat those melodies, or like singing Guitar Vibes, the actual song. It's like 10 minutes long of me just playing, and there's no specific. It's just a story being told, and I love that place.
Yeah,
I love being in that place. I don't always like the pattern of something.
Yeah,
I just like to be able to tell the story.
Arsenio, I want you to drop this. We got about 15 minutes, so listen, I'm going to use you for every 15 minutes of this. There was a song that my homeboy and I, Mike Bethany, shout out to my homie Mike Bethany, we co-wrote the song You, Dear Future Wifey, a song for my podcast, and I released it last Valentine's Day. And so this is interesting that you're here. And I was on the phone talking to a friend, and she said, "Why don't you have him play to You?" And I was like, I didn't think about that. That was on the way coming here. And I said, you know what? I don't know if he can just jump in and just start playing or something like that. But we gonna see what you can do.
Hey.
All right, let's vibe out. Let's vibe out real quick. Arsenio.
Oh yeah. Oh my goodness, that could have kept going.
Okay, what would you just playing at the end of that? Keep doing that part.
I have to watch myself. I close my eyes and get into it, and the notes won't matter. And at that point, I just start, You
have a gift. You have an anointing. You have a calling. You have purpose. You have destiny. And God is going to continue to use you to do great exploits.
Wow.
I pray right now that every demon that tries to come against your calling, that tries to come against your purpose, that tries to come in a way of ticket sales, that try to come away against things that happen with venues and sound checks not going right. And I come against every distraction that the enemy will try to send while you're on this journey. I rebuke that spirit right now in the name of Jesus. No weapon formed against you shall prosper, and every tongue that rises up against you shall be condemned. For this is your inheritance because you're a servant of God. I speak right now in the name of Jesus that everything your heart desires, that God opens up the windows of heaven and pour you out blessings you don't have room enough to receive, that your seed will be called blessed, that your children's children will be called blessed, that your children will be doing great exploits in the name of God. And God, I thank you for my brother AJ. I pray right now that you continue to use him to make the evil spirits flee. That when evil spirits hear his hand touch the strings on his guitar, they begin to run. From the north, south, east, and the west, they begin to flee in every direction. He has been called for such a time as this. And we thank you. We thank you for him coming from the church, but opening up the church doors to have his music expressed throughout the whole world, throughout the whole universe, and every venue and every place that you allow his feet to tread. We thank you. We thank you, God. AJ, let me tell you something, man. When I tell you, you have an anointing to do what you do. Like, have you always known that?
I have, even when it didn't sound great. When I first started playing, I knew that I knew there was a specific something that I wanted to do in the earth. And I used to always ask my mom, what is my gift? What is my gift? And she would always say, son, just wait. It'll come. It'll come. It'll come. And I didn't know it was going to come in this manner. I thought that it might come in a manner of lights, camera, action. And I get to be that person and not the person responsible, you know? And so.
Not the person responsible.
Mhm.
Explain what you mean by that.
You can know me as something that I do, but what I do don't help you at all. And so I make sure that what I do comes before the lights, camera, action. What I do impacts the earth before it being just about me with no purpose. And so I'm here and I'm ready.
I'm here and I'm ready.
I'm ready.
I want you to take us out with a familiar love song, whatever love song that comes to mind, and give us the AJ Ghent version.
A love song that comes to mind.
A love song that comes to mind. And give us the AJ version of it.
Well, this will be, it's actually a song that hasn't even really been released, but I'm gonna play this. So here we go. I'm gonna let it go because I just keep playing.
It's this note that you do, like when you say da-na-na, that right there always makes me smile.
Yeah.
Like, you know, do it that.
Right there.
No, you go da-da-da, with the higher note.
Is that?
No, you go plum plum plum. It's that. That.
Those, yeah.
Yeah. That right there.
Yeah.
It just makes you smile.
Yes, that's
It's like a joy note. It's like whenever you do that, it makes you be like,
yeah.
It just it makes it put a big old smile on your face.
Yeah. I'm at peace.
Yeah, I'm at peace. Listen, man, you're on tour right now. You have some dates. Listen, Lit Fam, we're going to drop a link in the description.
Yeah.
I want y'all to blow his mind. I want y'all to go buy up these tickets when he's coming to your city. And I want y'all, when y'all see him, be like, we're here. I saw you on Dear Future Wifey.
Wow.
Sell out his show. I want him to look around and be like, what in the world? Show him so much love. Man, I love this brother. I love how he thinks. I love that he's in tune with his purpose. I love that he travels with his family. I just love the way he leads his life. And so this will drop February the 12th. How long is this tour going on?
We are going for now all the way to August.
To August, good.
Yeah, for now.
Throw some of the cities out that will come after
gonna-
February the 12th.
Well, after we leave Texas, we go into North Carolina, Cornelius, North Carolina. Then I'm going to Atlanta, Georgia. I'm going home.
What date is that? You know that already?
That's March 28th.
March 28th.
March 28th.
Yep.
I'm
The day
actually
before
going-
my birthday.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
You might well come on
Yeah,
out.
pull up. I always find myself in Atlanta around my birthday, which is
Hey,
interesting. Like
come on.
even last year and the year before that. And so Atlanta, y'all know y'all support very, very well. A lot of subscribers in Atlanta that watch the Dear Future Wifey podcast. So pull up, sell this show out. Yeah. What else you got?
We got right after Atlanta, we're going to Chicago, St. Louis.
Yes.
Out the Chicago and St. Louis, and then we're headed to Virginia. We got Philadelphia, New York.
Yes.
We're gonna be in NYC, and I'm sure I'm forgetting Ohio.
Ohio.
We're going to Ohio.
Where? What city?
Cincinnati.
Cincinnati.
Ohio.
So y'all hearing some of these dates. There's going to be a link in the description that's going to have the whole tour schedule. When you see your city, pull up. Even if it's 2 hours away, pull up. Make it a trip. Make it a girl's trip. Take your boo there. Take your husband there. Take your wife there. Make it a date night. Pull up on AJ Ghent, show him love, let him know that you appreciate his musical gift, his calling, and go find your healing in it. Go find inspiration, find your restoration when you sit down in that venue and allow the presence to just overtake you and lift up every burden that you may have, any type of insecurity you may be dealing with, whatever you're going through, release it in that venue. And so anything you want to leave the people with?
Purpose, heal.
Purpose, heal. What's your IG?
AJ Ghent at Instagram.
And that's AJ, last name Ghent.
You said it right too. You said Ghent.
Ghent.
Usually everybody say Ghent. So
Ghent.
Get on up out of
AJ Ghent.
Ghent.
No, AJ Ghent.
Ghent. And as well as on TikTok. So you can AJ Ghent. So
as long as TikTok around, you make sure y'all go pull up on.
Yeah, I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah, we're gonna be around. I can't use that. Listen, AJ, we almost got 600,000 subscribers on the Dear Future Wifey YouTube. So it's well of enough people that can go sell out your whole tour. Awesome. So I need y'all to pull up. Even if he's not in a city near you, call your friends and family that may be in that city and say, hey, y'all don't want to miss this. So show love. Hey, y'all give it up for my homie, AJ Ghent, y'all.
Thank you. Thank you so much. This was beautiful. Yes.
God bless you, King.
Yeah.
Stay tuned to the end for a letter to my future wifey.
Been writing these love letters to you.
Ladarian. Thrusted suddenly into Child Protective Services in 2015. My nephew, Black, a boy. The likelihood of being adopted outside of kinship, slim to none. Armani, 16 years old, Black, a boy, with 5 years in the foster care system before I even knew his name. The likelihood of ever being adopted, yep, you guessed it, slim to none. While Ladarian and Armani were trying to survive and barely thrive in an overpopulated and underfunded foster care system, I was living my own life, doing well professionally. Having been a single father with a daughter who at that point was doing well in college, it was my time to live my life, right? Wrong. I felt unsettled, tireless, agitated. There are just too many of our Black children stuck in ambiguity and in the limbo of the foster care system. In 2017, I legally adopted my nephew, Ladarian. Fast forward to 2019, I had no ties to this other young king, but I felt God instructed me to adopt him also, and I obeyed. Starting over with parenting should have been enough, right? Working with various foster care and adoption agencies to help bring awareness to the countless young Black kings in the foster care system should have decreased my agitation, right? Joining the board of directors of Advantage Adoption, an organization that helps find permanent adoptive homes for children in foster care, should have led to some type of resolve, right? No, not at all. None of it felt like I had done enough. I now realize that every one of those experiences was laying the fundamental foundation for my life's mission, Kingdom Royale. Kingdom Royale will be a luxury, state-of-the-art home for foster boys. Our first location will be in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. We will utilize the whole person approach that instills identity, empowers them to advocate for themselves, and enlightens them regarding new perspectives and limitless options that they thought were impossible. Though the young kings will attend the local public schools that are in proximity to Kingdom Royale, our at-home curriculum will broaden their worldview through participating in the arts, attending various cultural events, learning about and engaging in multifaceted discussions about current events and even relevant historical context. introducing them to gardening and landscaping and even caring for our animals on our farm and on-site stables. We just launched our Startup Capital campaign with the goal of raising $2.8 million. Now, why $2.8 million? Well, in 2017, I created a web series in which I performed random acts of kindness for targeting the homeless community. One of the most notable successes was that one of the videos went viral, garnering 28 million views. However, one of my biggest regrets is that I didn't raise a single dollar to help in implementing a more sustainable plan for the homeless community. So throughout the years, with much remorse, I reflected on not maximizing that moment. I knew if at that time, just 10% of the viewers donated $1, we would have raised at least $2.8 million that could have really established long-term support for the homeless community, or at least started a long-term initiative to do so. This is my do-over. This is our new beginning. Together, we can attack this at the root by specifically helping our homeless Black boys who are already disproportionately represented in the American foster care system. I'm Laterras R. Whitfield. I've been nominated for 3 regional Emmys documenting my work with the homeless as well as my personal adoption journey. Despite those accolades, the greatest award for me is truly providing the infrastructure for a transformed life. Visit kingdomroyale.com for more details. Crown a king and make a donation today. This Valentine's Day is bittersweet. You know, when I approach Valentine's Day, being a single man, you know, I'm a hopeful romantic, so I can't help but desire to spend Valentine's Day with my future wifey. And so I'm yet single right now, but I'm hopeful. Again, I believe that by the end of this year, I'll be married. Y'all been hearing me say that. I'm going to keep speaking it. I'm going to keep calling it. My birthday is next month, March the 29th. I'm going to keep speaking it, that I'll be bringing that birthday in with my future wifey. I'm just going to keep believing. But here's my favorite part of the podcast where I speak to my future wifey. Dear future wifey, I've been thinking a lot about love, and it hit me. Love is like a symphony. It's an intricate composition where each note, each rest, and each crescendo tells a story. And just like any great piece of music, the progression takes time, patience, and a steady hand to guide us through. At first, our relationship will begin as a simple melody, light and unassuming, like the opening notes of a song that draws you in. We'll discover the rhythm of each other's hearts, each beat sinking as we learn the tempo of our love. As we continue, I know we'll enter the harmony phase. Our voices will intertwine, adding layers of depth, complementing each other in ways we didn't expect. The dissonance we sometimes encounter will only enhance the beauty of the resolution that follows, teaching us to find comfort in each other, even in the most challenging moments. There will be times when we face the crescendos of life. In these moments, our love will rise in intensity, pushing us to our limits, but ultimately strengthening our bond. It'll be in those high notes that we find the courage to endure, knowing that we're creating something epic. But I also know that after the loud, powerful moments, we will experience the decrescendos, those quiet, tender times when we hold each other close and allow the silence to speak volumes. It's in those pauses that we'll recharge, reassured that no matter the tempo of life, we'll always be in sync. And finally, I look forward to our final movement, the grand finale. When we built something that's not only beautiful but eternal, when the music of our love has played long enough to know every measure, every chord, and every rest with certainty. I can't wait to be in tune with you, to create this beautiful symphony together. Your future hubby. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Dear Future Wifey podcast. Remember, Be lit, live intentionally and transparently, and don't stop loving. Make sure to subscribe to our Dear Future Wifey YouTube channel. We're available on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and Stitcher. We welcome your support. Simply share our podcast with your friends and family.